Hello there, everyone. Happy 2016. And yes, we know. Yes, this is not the Order 1886. I know we promised you that, but, well, an opportunity kind of came our way, and so we decided to take advantage of it, in the fact that people loved when I did my my live stream of King's Quest, the new King's Quest, from the Odd Gentleman and Sierra. And so, since it's an episodic kind of thing, we don't necessarily need to take on the episodes all at once. We can actually just kind of take our time with it. So, obviously, we will get to the Order 1886, but we decided to start this up first. And Andrea is like waiting for the point. No, you're just not going to speak? Oh, okay. All right. That works. So, welcome everybody to King's Quest. We hope you guys will enjoy. I did a live stream of this in the middle of the summer, last summer, and it was really, really, really fun. I actually have a feeling you will enjoy the heck out of this, even though you are not that much of a point-and-click fan.
Well, that depends. I never play too many of it.
That's what I mean. You didn't grow up with it like I did, so you have never met the granddaddy of all point-and-click adventures, which would be King's Quest. Granted, that was from a different company and different management, but actually, believe it or not, the original management have approved this game as of now. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into it, people, because I have a feeling Andrea is getting a little bored. So we technically do have 2 chapters. We're only going to take on Chapter 1, and then we'll get to the Order, and then we'll get back to Chapter 2. Hopefully by then, we'll actually have Chapter 3 out. But really quick, there's one other thing that we need to settle. So, this game is unique from the other King's Quest games in the fact that it actually has branching paths. And so we actually need to address this beforehand because we're going to get thrown into it right from the get-go. There are 3 paths to go down, Andrea. We can either be a brave king, we can be a wise king, or we can be a compassionate king. So bravery would be roughly the equivalent of just shoot first, ask questions later, be brave. You know, take on the dragons and all that. The wise king would be somebody who tries to think his way out of a problem instead of using brawn to get out of it. And then the compassionate king, which to me just feels kind of like the classic King's Quest way of solving things, is that you try and find a way that you don't necessarily have to do a horrible thing. You find a solution that benefits everybody, kind of thing, including the evil monster trying to kill you, kind of thing. So, with that said, what path so I've actually experimented a little bit with the compassionate route. I love it, but I did not follow every decision under it. So I would have no problem going down the compassionate path again, but Andrea is new here, so what path would you like to go down?
Why didn't you follow the compassionate route?
Mainly because I didn't know a lot of the main decisions. And so at that point, there were actually some decisions that I made with bravery in mind, and then there were a couple of others that I made with wisdom in mind. So it's not it's not bad to do that, but if you want to have a devoted path throughout all the episodes, you do actually need to follow the compassionate route, the wise route, or the brave route. So which route would you like to pursue, Andrea, in this playthrough?
Well, what kind of do they all have different endings?
I am not sure because the series hasn't or all the episodes aren't out yet.
Oh, I thought you know.
But I would guess that they are going to generate different endings for the overall ending. They're going to generate different ones.
Well, I guess we could try the compassionate route.
Okay. So we're going to try the compassionate route. I might cut out some of this just so that we can have a little bit more flow to it. But let's go ahead and get started. We are in Chapter 1, which is A Night to Remember. As you can see, we have Rubble Without a Cause, which is the second chapter, and there are 3 more chapters yet to be released. So let's go ahead and get started with A Night to Remember. Go to the menu and play it. Okay, fine. That's great. So let's play. A Night to Remember. So an interesting thing to note just right at the beginning, every piece of art that you're going to see in this game was hand-painted. That is something that doesn't happen in this day and age, especially to AAA games. So appreciate the art, because this is a really rare feat that we got, all including the Graham model is hand-painted. So that's already a cool concept. Let's go ahead and go up to this well. I suppose that's where we're going. Oh, okay. Well, now we're at this well. Might as well lower the bucket. Okay, so now we can actually go down into the well. And like we said before, so this is your kind of your first foray into the King's Quest series.
I had not been back there in years, but it was the last place left to look.
And in case you didn't already know who that is the voice of Christopher Lloyd, aka Doc Brown from Back to the Future, Reverend Jim from Taxi, the Genie. No, not the Genie. Why did I think it was the Genie?
I think
Uncle Fester from Addams Family. I'm trying to think, has Christopher Lloyd done a Disney movie? Angels in the Outfield he did.
Well, yeah, he did that.
But like an animated movie. I don't think he has.
He also played in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. That's probably the closest thing. With
Who Framed Roger Rabbit, he was the villain there, but he was still live action.
Well, yeah.
The other one that comes to mind is The Page Master. A lot of people don't know that work, but that was with him and Macaulay Culkin, along with voice roles from Frank Welker, Whoopi Goldberg, and Patrick Stewart. Oh, I'm sorry, Sir Patrick Stewart at this point. Oh, and let's go ahead and move this this mattress here. Well, that was helpful.
You feel like you're in Alice in Wonderland, almost.
A little bit, yeah.
Going through a little door.
Oh, that's kind of how a majority of the King's Quest games feel, is that they really do borrow a lot from...
It was not exactly as I remembered it, but it wasn't all that different either.
They borrow heavily from fairy tales and, you know, mythology, things like that. So this feels really good. I actually remember when I saw this the first time for the live stream, and this already was a cool scene right there. That's really awesome. Okay, so I guess we are making our way over here. So yes, you have... Oh, hold on.
Two odd contraptions guarded the lost treasure. I would have to turn one and see what happened.
So, first of all, here's what we're going to do. Since you don't know a lot of the King's Quest lore, I will fill you in as we go, because technically you don't really need to know it, but it's fun to know. The second thing is, in King's Quest, unlike... So you've played some point-and-clicks with Drak and Shadow. You've played Monkey Island, you've played Fate of Atlantis, and a bunch of all of that stuff, but you've never played a Sierra one. And in Sierra point-and-click adventure games, you die a lot.
Yes, I know.
And sometimes it's fun. So, let's see. We have two switches to go with. We can go with the right or we can go with the left. For the heck of it, we're going to go with the left. Because everybody knows this death already. Ow.
And that's what would have happened if I turned the left switch. But since I am here telling this story, you already know that I pulled the right one.
So usually at the end of a King's Quest death, you will get some really, really bad pun. And in the case of this game, they like to do this whole concept where he is telling this story to one of his granddaughter. And so it's just like, well, obviously I'm right here, so this is not how the story ended.
Yeah.
So I especially love the puns of King's Quest. They are good. In a very dumb way. Alright, so let's pull the right switch. And here we go. Even deeper into the cave. Lots of beds around here, by the way. I wonder if this is a bedtime story. Whatever's causing that, pretty big. Okay. Oh, actually, you know what? No, it cut me off. There's actually a good piece of... Oh.
Hold on, Grandpa. I don't remember this part of the story. Beds hanging from stalactites?
We'll get there, Gwendolyn. Don't worry. No detail in this story will be overlooked. Now, where was I? Ah, yes. As I treaded through the river of rumbling trundles, I feared I knew the source of that deafening wind.
And what could be the source of that deafening wind? A horrible fart. There you go.
Something big, I imagine.
Okay, a bridge made entirely of beds. Apparently, the Kingdom of Daventry, which is where King Graham is apparently running out of beds and other furniture.
Nestled beneath a slumbering pile of teeth and claws was...
Fabled mirror.
Oh, so you remember this part of the story.
Well, dragons are my favorite.
You want to tell this part?
Yes. King Edward sent me, the greatest knight in all of Daventry, on a quest to return his stolen mirror. A gigantic, hulking beast of a dragon was the last thing in my way to... My way to add a shinier hat to my collection.
All right. So this actually, fun fact, Andrea, this part of this story actually takes place in the first King's Quest game.
Really?
Yes. When you start out in King's Quest, you are a knight. And instead, the king has no heirs, so he actually sends you out to take care of 3 various tasks. And if you do that, you become king. This was one of the tasks in the first game. So, fun fact there, this story actually takes place in the first King's Quest game. Okay. Well, we can use that. And even deeper into the cave we go. And what's over here?
I tried to turn that crazy contraption, but it was missing a handle. Someone tampered with it, creating some silly conundrum.
Oh, it's always fun hearing Christopher Lloyd play old people.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds so mean, but dude, he's so good at it. I mean, this easily could have been the Page Minister for me, you know. Let's see. So that must be... Well, first of all, yes, you can jump into bed.
Even though the bed was very comfortable, this was no time to hide under the covers.
Poor little girl. I'm just delaying this entire story, and I don't care. Let's see. Bookshelves. Anything?
Volumes of old books with foreboding titles clutter the shelves of that strange bedroom. How to Tame a Dragon, Breaking the Spirit of Hideous Beasts, Amateur Spells to Impress Your Friends with. No books about recovering missing handles, though.
So basically, this is the game's subtle hint of, this is not important. This was just seamless filler. Alright. I have a feeling this is our missing handle. Oh, but it's tied to it's tied to something. That's not good.
So, the missing handle was booby-trapped?
Channeling his inner Indy.
Well, I used my cleverness to outsmart the trap.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Then I used my cleverness to hide.
Well, only one place to hide, so... Oh, boy.
I'm surprised you just didn't stay out.
I actually could have done that, but I didn't. We'll get some other deaths, don't worry.
Luckily, that half-blinded beast never noticed me in bed.
A dragon's eye must be really hard to pierce with an arrow. At archery lessons, I can barely hit a hay bale.
It is indeed a feat only for skilled archers.
Well, we can already tell that this granddaughter has a one-track mind. She's very action-minded. Okay, so now that we have the handle...
I tried to turn that crazy contraption, but it was missing a handle. Someone tampered with it, creating some silly conundrum.
Alright, so now that we know that won't work...
What did you use to fix the broken switch?
We can do this.
Interesting that it would just hold it into place.
No, for that would make sense, wouldn't it? Sometimes with Sierra games, you have to adopt Sierra Moon logic. That's just the sad part.
dragon's chains were coiled around a gigantic switch mounted to the cave wall.
Alright, so we know that he is bound. So we might be okay, because he technically can't reach us. But the switch is right there, so... Ugh. Okay, well, let's go in here.
After he briefly basked in the sun, the narcoleptic dragon went back to snoring.
I'd probably sleep all day too, if Amira was my only friend.
But, granddaughter, you're supposed to be a princess, and therefore, sleeping or looking in a mirror is what you do, right? No. Actually, no. Especially not in this family. Okay, well, this is going to be a difficult thing to get across. So a little bit of King's Quest history for you, just to explain the granddaughter here. So, King Graham is married, obviously. He has Queen Valenice, and then he also has twins. He has a son and a daughter. And the granddaughter that we're hearing about is actually the daughter of his son, Alexander. Who is married to, well, he's now King Alexander, because he rules a different kingdom other than Daventry. And we actually will see the daughter's son eventually, but just so you know who that person is. Uh-oh. What did I do? Oh no, oh no, get to a bed, get to a bed! Actually, you know what, no. Deal with it. You know what? Screw you, dragon. Screw you, dragon.
Ah!
Wait a minute. Does this mean our family's immortal?
Yeah, we're immortal, all right.
I actually hadn't heard that one before. That's awesome. So yeah, this is Alexander's daughter, Gwendolyn. Once you crunch, you can't stop. All right. Well, there's only one way to avoid this, so we have to hop in the bed. Apparently, dragons can't see feet. Otherwise, we'd be screwed. Okay, so now that we've learned our lesson, we don't step in the bone piles. Ah, but what the heck. Does it do the exact same death?
I bet it does.
Yes, it does. Oh, that's sad.
Wait a minute.
Yeah, it means your family's immortal, Gwendolyn. If you mean immortalized in gamers' hearts. I mean, after all, there were 7 canon King's Quest games. There's technically an 8th, but, Andrea, we don't speak of that game. It doesn't exist. Now, this might actually also spark the question to people, are we going to take on the other King's Quest games? I don't know yet. I'm leaving that kind of up to Andrea, but at the same time, there are games that I would much rather tackle their remakes other than the original games. Because, well, King's Quest is kind of an old series. So maybe we'll consider it, but later. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, better hide.
The other problem is that they're PC games, and if you are running on a current day PC, they might run a little fast.
I feel like this is like The Hobbit with the dragon.
Yeah, just a little bit. Okay, so over here. Oh yeah, this is just to use the ladder. So what's up here?
Whoever designed this trap thought they were pretty clever, but I would probably find a way to hit that unreachable switch.
Well, you need to find a way first, Graham. Oh, and what's this? Okay, well, there you go. Now we can hit it. Oh, this is sad. Ew! 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 Get it off! At least he was respectful. You can't hold that against him. Alright, so now we can get across this giant bridge of beds. Seriously, the Kingdom of Daventry must be seriously in need of a Sears mattress company. Or Serta. Alright.
I don't know why it's all lined with beds.
Don't know. Again,
The mirror called out to me.
Again, I wonder if it prescribes to the theory that this is a bedtime story. So, bed. You need to go to bed, Gwendolyn. Okay, so we've got a chain that we can use. We got a bell. Let's just mess around a little bit. Boom. Okay, so it will go over to this mattress. And it'll get mad, and then it'll probably... Okay. Go back to sleep. So that's not good. What happens if we pull this?
A ridiculous feeding contraption was cobbled together to keep the beast and probably its owner alive.
Okay, so... This takes the bed-like stakes. And let's see, ring the bell. And it knows what it is. Okay, well that wasn't helpful. So maybe if we
Other
pull the
than to feed the
switch-
dragon.
Maybe if we pull the switch, then this thing will come back up. And move it down to the other side. So here we go. We have our solution. Okay, ring the bell. So now he will grab the stake. And since we know where the mattress is going to go... We can just hop on here. And this will put us at the other side.
That would suck if it put you right by the dragon.
Oh, that would suck. But thankfully now we can go and grab the magic mirror. Or as King's Quest fans like to call it, the convenient plot device. Uh-oh. That's some quick thinking there, Graham. But now we gotta get out of here. Gotta get out of here. Big dragon! Good catch us! Oh! Hi? Now this is starting to feel more like a Disney movie.
Yep.
Okay, so what would happen if I technically just let myself hit this thing?
Can you put my mouthwash back on the shelf, please? Now, where was
I haven't heard that one before. That's great.
You didn't hear that one before.
Nope.
Well, what did he say before?
No, I didn't get that death before. So, alright, so now we know what happens there. He gargles mouthwash.